Shahar, all
Hi.
the way from Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. For those of you who don't know Shahar, he is the head of demand gen at BridgeWise. And he very courageously, I must say, agreed to speak to me today about what I can only say is a dynamite subject of the marketer's tech stack. I'll say why I think it's dynamite or why I know it's dynamite, because obviously we both speak to a lot of marketers. 101 opinions about what should be in your marketing tech stack. But generally, I feel that there are like two camps of marketers right now. There's the marketers who are feeling FOMO and feel that they need to be trying every single type of tech. And they feel that there must be an easier way to do what they're doing, and tech can solve that. And, what are my peers doing or what are my competitors doing that would make my life easier? So that's one camp. And then there's the other camp that's sort of like, leave me alone. I do not want to hear about one more piece of goddamn technology. If they do not invent one more piece of, Martech technology, I will be a very happy camper. Let me just sort of like get on with my day job and let the marketing tech stack that I have right now in place just work for a little bit without me needing to change it already. So
Yeah.
where are you? Like, where are you in that tech stack?
So I like shiny things.
Okay. So
I
you're
like
an
to
early
try.
adopter?
I'm an early adopter for sure. I
Okay.
like to try out things, but I think that, part of being in different organizations and organizations that also grow over time, even for a public company, you need to figure out what it is that just looks shiny and what is has a good promise
Mm-hmm.
versus what actually delivers. And I think that with experience, I learned to somewhat weed out what is just a load of crap.
Okay.
Pardon my French,
No,
and
go for it.
what is actually there is an interesting use case that can be used.
Do you have some kind of methodology where, as you say, I will keep 80% of my tech stack the same and experiment with 20%? Or is it a matter of that, you're scrolling on LinkedIn or any other sort of like of your favorites sort of like feed and saying, ooh, shiny. I'm going to try this out. Or even a friend will say to you, like, what do you have any kind of filter, or is it sort of like come as it goes?
So it's a bit of both. There
Okay.
are these specific tools, I'd say 50-60% of the stack that I'm very much familiar with, and I look to have it whenever I start in a new organization or work with a new company. So,
Okay.
you got your HubSpot, you got your, the normal stuff like the analytics, the WordPress, all these kind of like the very basics that you need to have with you.
Mm-hmm.
But now and again, we're scrolling through LinkedIn. There are new tools that seem to be very interesting, and if it's even like in a PLG, you can just do a trial and see whether it's interesting or not. Then I would definitely do it. I love
Right.
doing trials.
Yeah, I mean, for us as an agency, I mean, we're always being bombarded with sort of like the new technologies. And with the way I prevent from getting overloaded with sort of like the new technology is just to say no.
Hmm.
No, kidding. I do not just say no. But basically, if we have sort of like employees or customers who are already using something and they swear by it, then I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, this is a good enough reason for me to try it out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, really, I could spend all of my day, every day, just trying out and being on demo calls.
Hmm.
So it's for me, it's sort of like I want validation from peers. I want
Yeah.
validation from sort of like colleagues
Yeah.
that this stuff can really help the way we run campaigns, the way we run our business, the way we work with people. And that then I'm willing to give it a go.
Yeah. So for me, a lot of times I see something that is shiny,
Yep.
but I would say now is not necessarily the time.
Mm-hmm.
Put it down, write it down. Like I have a doc that I kind of
Yes, likewise.
just
I've
to
got the
like,
magic
yeah,
doc.
yeah, just drop stuff there. And when I think that there's a need that I want to automate and think, hey, maybe this is something that somebody already thought about, I go to my list and
Yep.
then I see whether I kind of encountered it in the past.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay.
definitely with you on that.
So if you were a sort of like post round A startup marketer, what is your go-to, which is like, give me your 5 tools that you are not going to work without?
Yeah. So for sure, in terms of CRM, HubSpot all the
Yep.
way. Team HubSpot here.
Yay. Good
Yeah,
choice.
I worked with Salesforce
Okay.
and I hated every moment of it.
Okay.
HubSpot just all the way.
Yep.
Same goes with marketing automation. right?
Yep.
If you're already there, then
Why?
just,
Yep.
yeah, just
Exactly.
go.
Yep.
And then in terms of data enrichment, I've went through a few. I can't
Okay.
say that also seems that some of them are going like uprising and some are going down. I
Mm-hmm.
had good experiences with Apollo
Yep.
and with Lead Feeder or
Yep.
Dealfront today, rather.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Um, and then on the ABM side of things, right now, this is a hot take. Round A, it's very dependent whether to actually have one, like an ABM platform, you know?
Yes, many
No,
companies think they're doing ABM, but they're not actually doing
yeah,
ABM, and therefore don't need a really expensive ABM tool.
yeah. So even further, I'll take that even further. A round A company doesn't necessarily have the capacity to actually run and work an ABM platform properly. So you're going to
Yep.
implement 6 cents, going to pay tens of thousands of dollars
Yep.
a year for it, but you're not really going to be able to utilize because you're like a team of 5, 6, 7 AM marketers. There is no capacity to run like proper
And
activation
often
in
not
it.
even the budget either in order to
Yeah,
run a full-blown ABM campaign.
yeah, exactly. So,
I also think that between LinkedIn and HubSpot's Breeze or features, I think it's good enough. I don't think that
mhm,
you really need or can, as you said, you should afford to be able to go down the Bombora or Six Senses of the world.
yeah.
But I'm surprised, Shahar. You're surprising me very much. Why are
Mhm.
you surprising me? Ask me, Billy, why am I surprising you?
Why am I surprising you, Billy?
Thank you for asking, Shahar. You haven't mentioned our friends of the AI,
Yeah.
ChatGPT. You haven't mentioned Perplexity. And I'm not offended on their behalf, but it's just weird that they're not first on your toolkit. What's going
So,
on?
with all honesty, I use LLMs. I use Claude. I use ChatGPT. I actually had a very deep relationship with Gemini,
Did you?
but I did, and I
Hmm.
liked. We kind of clicked. Um,
Okay.
but I think, and it kind of connects to a conversation you had with Yoel a few weeks or months ago,
Yep.
that I believe that AI is killing us slowly, sweetly.
What? Even
Um,
after you heard what I said? Like,
even
you still
after,
think it's
yes,
killing us?
I think it does. I think it does. I think that it helps a lot. So it can empower marketers very well. But the problem, and I think that especially with younger marketers, is they grow into this field that it doesn't require deep work a lot of times. You put in
Mm-hmm.
your prompt, you get the response, and that's the truth. But it isn't really a lot of times. And you really need to kind of understand the business. You need to understand your clients. And I think that that is a spot that LLMs are really, really killing us as
But
marketers.
but then it's our responsibility to take LLMs at the face value that they have, and being the the tools that they are in
Mhm.
helping us, as opposed to replacing a lot of the research and the legwork that we still need to do. I
Yeah.
don't I don't think it's, as Yoel claimed as well, that it's really making us dumber. I think it is just sort of like some marketers are sort of like using it instead of, as opposed to
Mhm.
in addition to. But I
Yeah.
think that not having it as a default part of your tech stack today is like saying, Word isn't necessary for me, or Excel isn't necessary for me, because, hey, if I don't crunch the numbers myself, it's as if I don't know my numbers.
Mhm.
No, you can use Excel, but you still need to analyze what your data is saying within your Excel spreadsheet.
Exactly. So with that, I very much agree. I think that we do need to use LLMs. The
Yeah.
question is where does it end? Where does LLM stop? Where does the marketer's creativity, where does the marketer's research
Yep.
actually come into play? And I think that this boundary is being stretched. So I don't like HubSpot reporting. That is something that is really difficult for me. I've been using
You don't feel that
Databox.
it's improving all the time? Like, I feel that it literally, the things that we can do with HubSpot today, they're not what we used to be able to do even a year ago, but they're improving a lot.
They're improving a lot, but it's still not there for me, at least. For
Isn't that
the
to do
types
with
of
the dark social and nobody can really figure it out?
no, it's not about that. It's not about. It's about how do you combine different reports and different data sets into
Okay.
one coherent
Yeah, I would agree
visualization.
with that. Yep.
That's where the HubSpot is really falling short. Then for me, my go to will be Databox.
So I can say that we tried Databox, and we couldn't get it to work for us with even 80% accuracy.
Hmm.
And we were sort of like trying several client accounts,
Hmm.
and we were just getting the data that we're managing to get from Databox was not as good as we were able to get from our HubSpot reports. Like
Interesting.
seriously. And it was taking us a lot of time to sanity check all the time. I think we need to mention our friends Canva and Figma that don't get enough credit. Canva, pay the license. It's just worth it. It just like makes everything, even mock-ups, such a breeze. And since we started using Figma as well, our lives have completely changed. It's no more, even to like marketers seeing the progress of their creatives, being able to present it and get input from other people and seeing across the time where you started off with and where you're going. It's so much easier on a collaborative tool.
And again, it also gives you flexibility in regards to creating variations of ads.
Exactly.
And you can do that kind of relatively easily as a marketer, change text, change that, and export it as a PNG or a JPEG. But also I love FigJam.
FigJam. Okay.
Yeah, I love using it to develop campaign processes.
Interesting. So we use Miro for that. It's not the most user friendly. So I will check out FigJam. So Shahar, what do you think about Shield app that I've used for a very long time, stopped using, gone back to using? So as you can tell, I'm undecided. What's your take on it?
So I actually used it, again, one of those tools that I did a trial with. And I think that it's actually quite useful, not necessarily from the reporting standpoint, but more in the way that it structures the data and the results. And then it's very interesting in the way that you can feed it to ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or whatever. And then you can really try and create a tone of voice based on what has been successful. And help you generate content. Obviously, you need to edit it. Obviously, you can think, but more from a, what is it that we can like ideation, which types of content is performing better for you. And that is just a very useful way to structure the data from LinkedIn to export it. And I've been using that very successfully instead of.
So you still need to export it. You can't do it within the Shield app.
What do you mean?
So you're saying that you can optimize and you can rewrite posts that have been successful and You can't do that within Shield app yet. You still need to export it to ChatGPT or whatever.
Yeah, so you can export it as a CSV, and then you can upload the structured data into ChatGPT. Yeah,
we've spoken a lot about what companies and marketers can't live without in their tech stack, regardless of how much money they've got. Essentially. When you're ready to scale, what are the tools that you feel that really give companies the boost that they need in order to scale?
So I think that coming back to ABM tools, right? That's once your company is really scaling, the marketing team is growing, also you're going into new region, new types of industries, so that where an ABM platform can actually support your growth. There are a few good ones, each in their own, and your own focus. That's really all right. And then there is around personalization, website personalization.
Right.
There are a few good tools there. They're very expensive, but Optimizely or Mutiny are very good tools to help you do that at scale. And if you combine them with 6 Sense, you can create a really personalized at scale experience.
Have you tried Trend Demon?
I am familiar with, but I haven't worked with it with my own hands.
So a number of our clients are using it. You need to over 10,000, 8,000 monthly visitors on your website in order to really get the value out of it. But if you haven't checked it out yet, I think it's a really great tool. There has to be a testing mechanism built into sort of like your daily or weekly or monthly structure. I think otherwise you don't progress and you sort of you really just stay stuck in what you're doing today. And I think that one thing that really excites me, and I've spoken about it many times, and I think that on the one hand, I think it's easier for companies that are larger to implement it, but it's actually meant to help the individual marketer, is the whole use of avatars. If you're in a larger company, you have all this traffic and you can't afford anymore not to have a personalized journey. And I think that avatars are the perfect solution for that. To enable you to give a personalized journey, personalized content, to have every visitor on your website feel like, have arrived in the right place, or maybe they haven't. And that should also be okay, right? Imagine an avatar saying to you, what the hell are you doing here?
Mhm.
You know, this isn't a cookie shop. Something like that.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Yeah. It's good to know if you landed in the wrong place, or to take you on the journey if you arrived in the right place. But also if you're a smaller company and you're, a one woman, a one man marketing show, imagine suddenly you've got all of these avatars that are helping you create multiple content in different languages for different industries, providing customer support. I think it's incredible. And I think that we're now still at the phase of the early adopters. And I bet you any money, if we have the same conversation in 12 months time, it'll be like, what, you're not using avatars yet? And you may even have a conversation with Billy, the avatar, instead of me. It's me.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't turn into the next drift, though.
Okay.
Because I
Which
guess
was
that's
oh God, no, please, no, you're right. But no, that's good, because the avatars are hopefully going to be a far more intelligent version of drift. Jesus, that's painful. Shahar, we're drawing to a close.
Mhm.
All right, let's recap. If you're post round A, what are the tools that you cannot, wind up your day without?
So the tools that you need for a Series A early growth startup are definitely, you need some sort of LLM. We spoke about it.
Yep.
ChatGPT, Claude, whatever fits you best.
But not the free version. You need to pay. It doesn't cost a lot. Get your wallet out.
Yeah, for sure. But do it smart. Don't become
Smart.
dumb. And then when you're talking about CRM, marketing automation, HubSpot all the way. I'm Team HubSpot.
From day one, the spreadsheet does not help you. Seriously, even if you're in 200 contacts, you need HubSpot, because you're going to grow, and you're going to grow faster than you think. And no, do not start your marketing, any kind of lead gen activities, without having HubSpot in place.
Correct. Very much agree with that. Lead enrichment, you must have something. There are several good tools, each in their
Again,
own.
HubSpot has an inbuilt tool as well. It might not be enough for everybody, but as you say, you don't need to go into the Zoom infos from day one.
Yeah, it's too expensive. Totally not worth it.
Overkill.
Data visualization. I'm on Databox. I love it. Each in their own, but
each to their own.
Some you have to have something, otherwise, the VP finance is going to ask you what's up. And then in terms of the design and creative tools, Canva and Figma.
Again, pay for the license. Don't try doing the free versions.
Yeah, they're so good. They're so good, so useful.
I agree.
That's definitely for Series A. So when you really want to start really scaling, your company becomes bigger, you go into different industries, different geographies. It really depends. I would, though, suggest to go on an ABM platform if it is relevant for your use case. I've used 6 Sense, and I can definitely recommend it. Then when you're talking about personalization, when you're really, driving stronger traffic to your website, you understand your clients better, get yourself some sort of personalization tool for your website. Mutiny is a really good one. Optimizely, and you also suggested Trendy. When we get there, I'm going to check it out. Yeah.
Shahar, I know that we could carry on talking for hours, and I'm sure that there are so many marketers listening to them thinking, but they didn't mention this and they didn't mention that, and how could they go without this? And I'm like, yeah, give it to us. What are we missing? Because obviously we haven't got infinite amount of time. We can't mention all the tools, so we really did mention the bread and butter. But I'm dying to know what you are all using and what you believe you cannot do your job without. That's a really interesting subject to discuss. Here.
All right.
Shahar, thank you. You've been a gem.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, and I've really enjoyed it.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.